You're all going to be terrific. I am joined by Congressman Juan Ciscomani, my designated freshman. Every new term, I bring in a freshman legislator. It's Juan. He joins us by video this morning. Good morning, Congressman. How are you?
Good morning, Hugh. Happy to be on, and actually happy to be on video. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, Congressman, tell us a little bit about how it's going as an appropriator. You're a member of the Appropriations Committee. You got a big job because the debt ceiling committed your committee to getting all 12 approps bills done. How's it going?
We're right on track for where we started. Frankly, things were delayed a bit, but man, the summer has been quite the busy month for appropriations. June was definitely packed, and so far we've passed 8 out of the 12 bills so far out of committee. We have 2 more today, actually, both today and tomorrow, this week, and then we have 2 more next week. The plan is to get all 12 through before the August work period back in the district. So we're right on track in that sense, and it's been a lively debate from both sides. So we've gotten it through.
Now, when you get those 12 done and they're all through the committee, when do they move through the House? And do you think there's going to be a rebellion from either the left or the right in our caucus, the Republican caucus?
Well, that's exactly what we want to do. Ideally, we get all this through before August, and get some versions of that passed through next week, even out of the floor. The question still is: do we get all 12 of them on this at the same period, same week? Can we do bill by bill in different weeks? I mean, we're still going to be able to see that. Now, in terms of what the different sides of our caucus, even our conference, wants out of this, we're hashing a lot of this out in the committee, which we're hoping that's going to transfer just a peaceful process over to the floor. All the concerns from both sides who are being addressed in committee, which is where they should be. One of the things that the speaker wanted when we first started was regular order. We needed to go back to that. So that's what our conference really pushed as well. Both Freedom Caucus and Main Street. I mean, every member in our conference wanted back to regular order, which is what Pelosi and her style did not do at all. So we were not going to ram things through or debate everything on the floor. It needed to be regular order. And that's what we've been able to do. So I think a lot of this has been taken out on the committee side of things. Hopefully it sticks and we can just have just a normal process on the floor.
From David Joyce, who is my hometown congressman in Ohio,
Yeah.
all the way over to Chip Roy, who is a frequent guest on the show and a friend of the program, there's a lot of diversity in the appropriations process. You're somewhere on the center right, I don't know where, but what has struck you about the appropriations process that you did not know when you said, sure, I'd like that committee?
Well, that's a great question, and that could be answered for anything in Congress. What did I not know when I signed up for this? That's the truth of where we are. But the Appropriations Committee touches everything, and we knew that, but at the depth that it does. And also, on the same side of having such a wide scope is how many of these amendments have nothing to do with the actual bill sometimes or the spending of it. Many times they try to just cram in so many things inside these appropriation bills that have nothing to do with the nature of the spending in that area. So it's just being really a watchdog and guarding where we need to go with this. We knew that the task was going to be to reduce spending and to be responsible on this. And there was always going to be a lot of fat to trim, and we knew that. We had made that commitment. That's what we passed in the debt ceiling negotiations. So we knew the task. And the chairs of my subcommittees have been phenomenal on this. Really balancing the priorities from both sides, but really advancing a fiscally conservative agenda. So as a freshman myself on this committee, first of all, everybody has an assigned seat. I tend to bounce around because they move my seat around. So that's one thing that I've learned as a freshman. You're gonna be the one that moves around in that committee room. But it's great because I get different angles of the whole conversation, and you get to give opening statements on amendments as well as the larger bills. And this has given me a great opportunity to highlight the real needs of my district also.
Juan Ciscomani, I broke radio rule number 1, which is there are always new affiliates and new listeners, and that's happened. You got to reintroduce yourself, your district, what your backstory is, and which subcommittees you're on. Please do that.
Would love to. Great. No, thanks you for this. Juan Ciscomani, Arizona District 6. I'm a freshman. I was elected last year, and I became the first naturalized citizen from Mexico to be elected to Congress when that happened last year. My family came from Mexico when I was 11 years old and immigrated. And as my dad said it, where else in the world could we have our story? We come to the country, immerse in the culture, learn English. We go through the process of becoming citizens, he said, and now my son sits in the United States Congress. Where else in the world could that be? The answer is nowhere else, right? So I believe in the American dream. I believe in American exceptionalism. I believe in what our country offers, in the generosity of our country, and the power of what we can do here, good for our nation. And District 6 is in the southeastern corner of Arizona. And I got to tell you one quick thing. I just attended a naturalization ceremony, Hugh, not too long ago, about a month ago, where 45 new people became U.S. citizens, 19 different countries, and I was invited to speak. And I told them, I said, it was only in 2006 that I was sitting exactly where you're sitting today. I said I became a citizen in 2006, and from that chair that you're sitting in to where I am today, only 16 years to get from that chair to be elected last year. I said only in America can you become a citizen in 2006 and in 2022 be elected to the United States Congress. So it's just encouraging words to them to say anything can happen and you can do anything in America if you work at it, you keep that work ethic, you value and appreciate the opportunities the country offers. And that's what I think I can do in the Appropriations Committee by targeting our spending and our investments into things that advance the American dream. I'm also in the Veteran Affairs Committee, as you know, which is very important. Over 70,000 veterans in my district. This is the 9th largest veteran population in the country in terms of congressional districts. I have 2 large military bases in my district, DM Air Force Base and Fort Huachuca Army Base. So veteran affairs issues are very important to me as well.